All right, so this is one of the book labs that we didn't have time to do. And so what I want you to do is read the directions, try square number 1, and again, give it a good 10 minutes or 15 minutes just problem solving. So even if you're stuck, don't give up. Just try it and pause the video right now and give it a try and see how it goes. If you have to use formulas, you can, but you need to try not to. So try to figure it out just by looking at the shapes. All right, pause it now. Try that on your own for a good 10 minutes and then unpause. And again, try not to cheat because we don't want our kids to cheat on problem solving. So try to actually do it. All right, so I just drew a sketch of kind of what the problem looks like. And so if we're not going to use area, it does look like this little space might fill that in to get 1. So maybe I have 4 out of 12, but again, I'm just kind of eyeballing that and I need maybe a little more kind of official to figure it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make other triangles, and let me switch colors here. So if I notice this point's in the middle, so if I do this, I have a similar triangle. And if I come down here, this is 1 and it's in the middle, so there's another similar one. Same thing over here. I can come, 1 over down to the middle. I could go 1 over down to the corner. So there's like a green triangle here, green triangle here, green triangle here, green triangle here. And then these two together will make the same triangle because a half and a half would make a whole, and then of course to the top is the same. And so if I look at this, then I'm like, okay, so I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this last one makes 6 triangles. And my red one is one of those 6. But notice there are also 6 boxes here. And so my red triangle has to have an area of one of the boxes because it's 1/6 of this area total. And there's 6 boxes, so that red would have to fit in 1. So I have 1, 2, 3 boxes up here, 3 squares or rectangle shapes. I have 1 from down there, and there's what, 3 by 4? So I have 12 total. So what's that? 4/12, which reduces to 1/3. So 1/3 or 33% of this is shaded. Now, if I wanted to do area formulas, right, which they told us try not to do, but I'll go ahead and try it anyway. So area of a triangle is half base times height, if you remember that formula. So half the base is 1. The height is straight up and down 2. So half of 2 is 1. So that gives me an area of 1 box. This gives me an area of 3 boxes. I'll still get 4/12 and reduce it to 1/3. All right, go ahead and try another one. And again, pause. So maybe try, I got to get back there, but try one of the other 3 and I will pick one of them to explain. So try the other one, see how it goes. All right, so we're going to continue on. I'll see if I can move that over a little bit. Okay. So this is the second one, so we'll see how this one goes. And again, our goal is to figure out what fraction of it is shaded, and some of you are probably wondering what's that over here, but this is the original picture. All right, so let's look at this. I know there's 9 squares, okay, so that's kind of good. I know that this is half, like I'm missing half, so this is kind of like, okay, well, I'm missing a half here. But then it's kind of like, what am I missing over here? So here, oops, let me get a color here. Here I'm missing a half, but I got to figure out what fraction I'm missing over here. But if you notice in the picture in the book, for this side, they have it marked this way. So they have 3 marked this way, and I think 3 this, if I recall. But then over here, they didn't have 3 tick marks. They had 2, so that shows you this is in the middle, and this is in the middle. I just drew it this way so we'd have the same unit. So really, if I come over here and I cut it into 4ths, are you okay that that's a 4th? That's a 4th, and so we're kind of just going to cut it differently. And so what that means then is for that scenario, that this would be at the halfway mark all the way over there. So if I cut this differently, this kind of missing piece up here would be this. And so see if this logic follows. But this area is 9, so this area has to be 9. So if the area is 9, but I chose to cut it into 4ths, that means each area is 9/4, which is what, 2 1/4? Is that right? 8 9/4. Okay. So what that means is this is 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, and 2 1/4. And that should add up to 8. That should add up to 9. So that means this guy has the same area as this, even though I can't draw very well. All right. So what's missing is half of the 2 1/4. And so if I take half of 2, that's 1. And if I take half of a 4th, that's what? 1/8. So what I'm missing from this guy is half of that, which is 2. Half of 2 is 1. Excuse me, half of that is an 8. So I know that I'm missing 1 and 1/8 up there. All right. So if I take a half plus 1 1/8, scale by 4, so 4/8 and 1 1/8, that means I'm missing 1 5/8 from the original shape. So there's what, 9, the area is 9, so 9 minus 1 5/8. And I'm going to add on here because I think it's easier. So if I add on 3/8 is going to get me up to what, 2? And then I need what, another 7 to get up to 9. So 3/8 is going to add up to get that up to 2, and then 7 more. If you don't like that, you may want to split it into, let's see, 7 plus 1 is your 9, right? Minus 1, and then minus 5/8. So those are going to cancel, and then you might want to make your 1 8/8, and then you can get your 3. So however you do that is fine. But 7 8 3/8 is the correct answer. Now, if you want to do area formulas, we can do that as well. Even though the book wants us, oh boy, I don't want to do that. Let me undo that if I can. Is it going to let me? Okay. So let me just kind of erase down here a little bit. I'm going to try to leave that alone so not too much damage is done. All right, so if I'm going to use area formulas, then what I would do is, I'm going to ignore this, I'm going to have the base and height, so half base times height, half 1 times 1 is half. So that's the area of what's missing. And then up here, I'm going to ignore that, so half base times height for a triangle. I have 1 1/2, so half, I'm going to make it 3 halves, so 1 1/2. And 3 halves, which is 1 1/2. And so that's what, 9/8. And so I could times by 4, times by 4. So 4/8 and 9/8 is what? 13/8, which is 1 5/8. So that's what's missing. And again, I could take 9 minus the area that's missing. Again, if I kind of wanted to do more of the standard algorithm, I could ungroup. And in base 8, I would get 8 and get 7 3/8 that way as well. So again, you can use the area formulas if you need to, but we haven't really developed those, and that's not what they're getting at here. So try the other ones, see how they go. I can go over those in class if need be, but again, try the problem on the review packet and see how it goes.